God, I fucking hate rest days, dude. Not only does it get rid of my potential for like a cutting hack time skip to where time kind of just disappears for 4 hours, but it just fucking sucks. I just hate rest days. Once a week, my life fucking sucks. The whole push-pull leg split thing is definitely, you know, it's a good split, but push-pull leg rest is bullshit. Resting twice a week is too much. I genuinely have an illness, probably, but like not being here absolutely fucking blows. Not being here while cutting also absolutely fucking blows. I need to be here. I don't work enough, man. So like, I don't have the work time skip that a lot of you regular people have.
You'll have to get jobs. You know, employment.
You know, the people who aren't broke as shit. And I don't have the gym time skip. You need them. It's literally like speed running a video game. You're speed running your caloric deficit, man. That being said, yesterday I did try to fast. I did like all of my chores after I woke up and then I ate. That was a terrible idea. Because once I ate, I was never not hungry, you know? And usually, you know, you're hungry, but like it was bad yesterday. You can blame that partially on the time skip, but also partially on the fast. Fasting doesn't work for me, guys. Anyways, it's fucking chest day. Let's get it.
So here's the big difference between me and like anyone else who's posting a lot of gym content. I'm gonna try to give you guys knowledge on everything. So just my overall general knowledge with shit. You'll get cutting advice and cutting tips and cutting hacks anywhere on the planet, because that shit is so massive. Everyone is just trying to lose weight. Everyone who doesn't work out, typically their goal isn't to get jacked, it's to lose their body fat. And then they give up after a week, but that's like the target demographic for society, is to get in shape. But what about the motherfuckers who are trying to put on size? Me specifically, when I try to look for that shit, it's almost like it doesn't exist. And the only sort of bulking hacks or bulking tips or anything like that is from fucking strongman, my day of eating as a strongman. Okay, motherfucker, I'm not a strongman and you have to eat everything under the sun because you're 390 pounds, you know? My plan, obviously not now because we're not even fucking there yet, give me another 2 months, but my plan for the future and for the future of this channel is not to just maintain leanness forever so I get more clicks because my thumbnails look cooler. It's to show you guys what I would do in my scenario. And if you're similar to me, where you're like, I have a decent physique, but I want to put on size. Okay, well, this guy has a decent physique and he put on size. You could follow what I do there. I'm thinking protein bar and banana while I lift for an extra 400 calories. Smaller meals, even while bulking, smaller meals that digest quickly and you want more frequent instead of like 2 or 3 or 4 massive meals, because I've done that before and it doesn't digest quick enough and you feel like shit. I got you guys. I'm gonna hit you with all of the hacks, not just the cutting hacks. Ugh. Don't get me wrong, since I'm cutting, I'm gonna keep yapping about cutting and what I do to get lean as shit. What was that, like 16? I don't know where that came from. There always seems to be an abundance of knowledge when it comes to cutting and gym exercise. That seems to be very saturated with knowledge, but I never find shit for bulking. And it's unfortunate because every person I talk to, like in person, they're like, yeah, I'm trying to gain size. I'm like, oh, okay, what are you doing? And they're like, yeah, I'm just eating a lot. You're retarded. How much are you trying to gain a week? Oh, you know, like a pound or 2 or 3, you know. Okay, you're retarded again, times 2. Now you're double retarded. You see what I mean? You're not gonna gain 2 pounds of muscle in a week unless you're on fucking an immense amount of testosterone. Are you on testosterone? Not just a regular, you know, TRT, but like a lot. No. So I just wanna, first I have to execute it though. That's the thing. So I'm not in the position to give you guys shit or anybody shit, because I'm right where you are. I thought 2 pounds per week was goated as well. Wrong, absolutely not. Half a pound, if you're wondering, maximum. That's probably even pushing it. Because do you realize the level of difficulty to put on muscle? It's easy to gain weight. Look at 77% of America, you know? But we're not trying to get like them. We'll figure it out. See guys, there's some legitimacy to me getting rid of my fucking hair. Look at it. The inconvenience of freshly washed hair is abysmal. It's so tragic. So I'm just gonna either shave it or I'm getting dreads. And we all know which one I'm doing. It's such a pain in the ass. I have like this weird half afro, half like messy bullshit going on. And this was after trying to fix it forever. There's no saving it. So twice a week, because that's how often I wash my hair, it's just bad. And then by the time it's good again, I have to wash it again. So it's like, okay, so it's just perma bad except for one afternoon a week, you know? It's stupid. So I'm just gonna knot that shit up intentionally, call it good. Plus the uniqueness would be sick as hell. I don't really care if it looks good. My friend was like, but what about your big ass fucking cranium? Kill it.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Respectfully, that's rude. And second, fuck you. I don't have a big forehead. I have no eyebrows. There's a difference. Whatever. Yeah. 17 or 18? The machine says 14. I know that shit ain't right. You know how people will say, sorry, I'm trying to knock over my shit. You know how people will say mindset is everything? Like the way you think about yourself and the way you think about the situation matters a lot. I think there's a fuck ton of truth to that. If you're constantly telling yourself you're gonna fail, sorry, clean hair, it doesn't hold my headset. If you're constantly telling yourself you're gonna fail, straight up. But if you're like so arrogant, maybe, you just have the belief that you literally can't fail, you're probably not gonna fail. You know what I'm saying? I think that same thing applies to cutting and hunger. If you're constantly like, dude, I'm starving, I can't do this, then you're probably gonna fail, you know? But if you just chill the fuck out and you're like, I'm fine, even if it's not true, but you keep telling yourself, I'm good, you're probably good. Straight up, it makes it a lot easier. Tricking yourself, that's real. You can legitimately trick yourself just by thinking better. That's why people stay all sad and shit. It's because they're like constantly telling themselves negative things in their brain, whether it's true or not. If you're not smart, Miller, this is a shout out to you, buddy. If you're constantly telling yourself you're stupid and you're just super dumb and you can't do it, then you're probably just gonna continue to believe that, whether it's true or not. But if you're constantly like, yeah, I'm the smartest guy in the room all the time, you're a dickhead, but you'll probably feel better about yourself and what really matters, you know? I'd much rather, let's put it in this perspective. Would you rather believe you're hot and be ugly, or be hot and believe you're ugly? If you're just like, if you're ugly in your head, then what's the point, you know? But if you're like super hot in your head, whether it's true or not, you'll just feel good. You'll probably walk around with like immense confidence. It's kind of like that perspective, sort of, is like the best comparison I can put it to. You could compare it to like smartness instead of hotness too, if you really wanted to, but it's a good way to think. My headset is still, it's still falling. And not only that, but look, it's torn again. These are great headphones. The longevity of these fucking cushions are non-existent, even though it's lasted me a couple years, but still. As much as I bitch about rest days and how much I hate them, I do think they're absolutely necessary, unfortunately. I think twice a week is pushing it. I think once a week is perfect, because I definitely do have more energy today than I normally do. Normally I'm exhausted out of my goddamn mind with the excess cardio and the 4-hour gym sessions. It kind of builds a lot of systemic fatigue. The time skip is cool for like food-wise, but muscle recovery-wise, the rest days are absolutely necessary. It's unfortunate that I'm bored out of my mind and my friend has abandoned me for a D-tier game, AKA Arc Raiders. So I'm kind of just sitting in my room rotting. Japanese update, also I never stopped that, by the way. I just haven't really talked about it much, simply because it's fucking hard and I've made like no progress. Obviously, it's one of the hardest languages to learn, but holy shit, it's so difficult. I also have, I could definitely put in more effort than what I've been doing. I've just been a little bit busy being a lazy fuck, so I have no excuse. I definitely could put in more effort. I'm still putting in daily effort as like a self-streak sort of thing, but I definitely could put in more. 2. All right. 9. Slow on the eccentric. Come on. 10. Nope. And what's cool, and I didn't do this on purpose, but it worked out perfectly, my rest day is on Monday, and Monday is the worst day to come to the gym. It's always the busiest for some reason. So my rest day being on Monday is actually quite goated. Sports psychology is a legitimate degree, like you need a doctorate in understanding athletes' mental state and like its importance of the way you're thinking of like you performing and your, just like your self-worth almost and like how you perceive yourself and the things that you're doing, specifically with sports related things. So it's so important that it's literally an entire career path for a lot of people. And that just kind of gives you perspective of like the importance of how you see yourself and the mindset you need in order to achieve greatness, basically. And it's hard to describe the importance without fully grasping it yourself. I think that's the thing I struggle with the most, I would say, is proper self-reflection, maybe. See, this is really difficult. I just talked to a dude who has a fucking master's degree in sports psychology, and we were talking about how you have to have like a proper mindset and shit. I was like, damn, wait, so how does that imply to my life? I'm always saying that I need to win, or this came up because I was talking about my chest, and I always shit talk my chest. I was like, yeah, I changed my split in order for it to be more chest oriented because, and I looked down, I was like, my chest is kind of shit. And he was like saying something like, your chest is good. Don't want to say you need to get a bigger chest. You need to change it to you want to get a bigger chest, because if you say you need to get a bigger chest and you don't achieve that, then cortisol is released and it's like a negative impact and it affects your workouts, all this shit. So like, you failing your goal because you need to do something impacts you negatively. Whereas if you say you want to have a bigger chest and you don't achieve it, it's okay. But if you say you want to have a bigger chest and you do achieve it, it releases dopamine, which then enhances your performance and like your self-belief and all this shit. Holy fucking psychology, bro. Like, that shit is mad complicated. It's deeper than just eat calories, train hard, call it good. Because it literally perfects like your performance and shit. You know what I'm saying? He used my delts as an example. He was like, yeah, if you think you're a delt god, then I bet you could train harder in your delts because you think your delts are awesome. And I was like, huh, that kind of makes sense, because I do think my delts are awesome, my delts and calves. And I've always never had an issue training my delts and calves, but I've always had an issue training my chest. And I've always thought my chest is shit and my delts and calves are good, so maybe that's like correlated. Holy shit. So, wrap back around to when it comes to competing, I was saying I need to win. I have to win, right? Like, I need to win this show or else I'm a piece of shit and all of my effort is for nothing. So what happens if I lose? Is my self-worth literally based off of the 3 or 4 judges that are gonna look at me for 8 seconds? Is my years and years of effort, and specifically these 20 weeks of hardcore dieting and maximum effort, meaningless because 4 judges said I wasn't good enough? That's so not good. And it's hard to say this, because like I'm always in the mindset of like, I need to achieve greatness. But like, how about I want to be the best on stage. I want to be the best me on stage. And if the best me on stage wins, then awesome. Anything other than my best is not acceptable, in my opinion. And I'll never accept. It's hard to say. It's hard to have the right mindset to know what's right, what's the correct thing to tell myself. I want to be the best I can be on stage. I guess that's a better way of looking at it than I absolutely have to win. If I just bring the best me on stage, then maybe, I don't know. See, that's the hard thing with sports psychology. I'm still not grasping it, because me saying I want to be the best me still doesn't seem like enough. I feel like I have to say I need to be the best, period. But like, fuck. It's all based off of goals and how you look at like your goal and the purpose of it. Like, why do I want to be the best? To have self-justification and like external acknowledgement of my achievements and effort towards my diet and my show prep, I guess. Fuck, dude. I wanted to say I'm not smart enough for this shit, but I'm not allowed to say that because like sports psychology. Fuck. I'm not a positive person. I'm not. So I have to fix that. Because me being negative all the time, it does impact my mental. It really does. Me not achieving my goals with bulking. Every time I failed, it would take a shot at me, like I physically hurt, and I could just feel my mental just like dying. It's because I would just get disappointment after disappointment, because I was like, I need to achieve XYZ, instead of saying I want to achieve this, and then if I achieve it, awesome, but if I don't, then it, try a little harder. But no, every time I failed, I was like, fuck, I needed to achieve that and I didn't, Fuck me, I'm ranting. Okay, do your set. Sports psychology is a bitch. I didn't even put all the weight on. Forgot the 10s. Miller, I know you're listening to this shit, bro. And I'm pretty sure you've told me this 100 times. Sports psychology. I want a bigger chest. I want a bigger chest. I want a bigger chest. At the end of our conversation, he said, I look so much better than I did when he first met me. And that about made me cry. I don't know why. I felt the tears in the back of my throat, which is so weird. I'm not a crier. Dude, imagine if that entire rant was me with no microphone. There's been times where my mic just turns off sometimes. Okay, it's on, we're good. Are they playing X? Holy shit, guys, wait a minute. Do you think that's why Sam Sulek is so successful? Is because he's never comparing himself to others constantly. He's just kind of doing his own thing. Do you think that's why he basically achieves everything he's wanting to? And he's never like I don't think I've ever heard him be negative towards himself and his own physique once. He might do it behind the camera where he's like shit talking himself constantly, just not recording it, but I don't think he's that type of person. Not like I know him personally. I think he legit is just vibing, and that's why he's so successful. Not like content and money wise, but as a person, he's just achieving what he wants to achieve because he's not under this constant state of pressure for himself. He's not constantly saying, I have to win this show or else all of my effort will be unjustified. No, he's just being the best he can for himself. He's just bringing out the best in himself. I need to do that. No, fuck, I want to do that. See, I'm already saying this, I need shit. This is complicated. Who would have guessed? I knew show prep would bring out some weird ass emotions in me. C-Bum was talking about how he was all emotional and shit when he was cutting, and I was like, you're so dramatic, bro. I could kind of see it now, a little bit. There's a lot to this shit, a lot of mental hardship, because it doesn't really get much harder than this, in my opinion. Like, this is as hard as it gets when it comes to bodybuilding as a sport, is show prep. Anyways. Ooh. I didn't get to do my posing practice yesterday. So I was planning on doing this, let me zoom out a bit. I don't have a lot of space to work with, but here's the thing, okay? Hey, water bottle, get the fuck out of the way. You have to walk on stage. So pretend I'm walking, and then as soon as I take my step to do my front raise, right? Or my front pose, I'm gonna do like a sweep, like a sweep of the leg, shift my weight, because you have to have your weight on your right leg, like all of it, so I could basically balance myself. That's really cool, by the way. I love this pose. Anyways, focus. So I'm walking, I do my left foot, and then I sweep my right foot behind my left foot, shift my weight, boom. There's my pose. And then it goes into a boom, as like a rotation, and keep in mind my core is flexed here, right? So I'm like, boom, tricep, chest, delt, boom, core, rotate, because I'm here. So, you know, front pose, into a rotate, into a full back pose. Sorry, I don't have a lot of space, so pretend like, into like a, you know, your flex, boom, back pose, into a, boom. And so I'm still working on the shift from here. So we got here, and then we go down, and then now my weight is on my left foot. I have to transfer it to my right smoothly. So I'm still working on that. Boom, back into the pose, and then I shift my weight, and then I do a lat spread. And then I dance, and then I'm like pointing to the sky, and then I point down, and I hit the fucking boogie bomb, and then I get off stage. You need you need to be different. You need to stand out a little bit. So my plan is to hit the fucking boogie bomb at the end, because I can, you know what I'm saying? Keep in mind, I'm basically naked, so you're gonna see all my quad jiggle and shit. That's the plan. That's what I've been practicing for like a week. It feels so wrong to be okay with the thought of losing. You should just think that you need to be your absolute best, and that's all you can ask for yourself of, is to just be your best. And that's true. That's the honest fact, is like, just bring your best self, and the outcome is the outcome. But like, let's say I do manage to achieve that, and I bring my best self on stage, and I get my fucking shit rocked. What does that say about my best self? That it's absolutely not even close to good enough. And that's hard to think, you know? I feel like I've always fallen short of everything that I've tried to achieve ever. So it makes it hard to be okay with losing. Mental sports psychology and shit. It's a whole mess. It's like a fucking maze in my brain. Obviously I want to bring my best, but like, I guess it's a cop-out if I don't bring my best and lose. But if I bring my best and lose, then it's like, what's my excuse of losing? I was just never good enough to begin with. But like, what is it? Who says I'm not good enough? The people who are critiquing me, the judges? I don't know, dude. So that's like, it's invalid, because it's like them determining my self-worth. And does that imply that my self-worth is only as good as first place on stage? Strange. Interesting. how that works. What do I have left if I lose at my best? And it's not that simple to bring your best either. Yeah, you can get as lean as you possibly can, but that peak week is fucking rocket science. Oh, fuck. Whew. I need to watch shows. I need to watch like men's physique shows to kind of get a grasp of what their individual poses look like what their individual routines look like, so I can copy the ones I like. I love this one. That one's sick. You get to show off the abs and the side tricep. Actually, if anything, I should do it on this one because my tricep on my right arm is a lot better than on my left, I think. Could be the lighting diff too, but I think literally my right one is just bigger. And my long head, maybe, like the insertion itself. Or maybe if I like twist it like that. Who knows? Whatever it is. Because like if I was to do it, I don't know, I'm already lost. Oh, I'm not even in frame.